And I'm back. Hello. After a long break from rally simulations, today EA Sports WRC has released. So I took the chance and drove a few stages. I want to give you a first impressions, just quickly unscripted first impressions from the, I think, 5 stages I've driven so far. And not aimed at maybe the general audience, but aimed at coming from Dirt Rally 2.0. If you have experience with 2.0, this is how I looked at things from my perspective. So I booted up the game, and first thing I wanted to try is some car that I had experience with from Dirt Rally 2 on tarmac, because that was the biggest physics issue with the last game. So here we are in Japan, Rally Japan, with the R5 Ford Fiesta, and driving it actually feels very good. Like in Dirt Rally 2 you had this, I don't know, floaty feeling, especially when you are when you did high speed driving on tarmac. It didn't feel really properly connected to the road, but this time around it feels like you are driving actually on tarmac. The sound was good. That was good first impression. The force feedback was I don't know yet if I think it could be better, but it was good enough. Like I felt what the wheels are doing. I could control the car. So the tarmac first impressions was very good, and the stage design of Japan was also quite surprising. Like a lot of variety in the road side things, which I really like. But that was just the first stage. So next one I wanted to look at is another big issue from Dirt Rally 2 when you drove in Finland. There were a lot of jumps, and even when you drove perfectly in Finland, those jumps did damage to your car. It damages that accumulated over time. If you drove like two of the long stages, just the jumps alone damaged your car very significantly. So here we are in Finland, first time in the new game with gravel physics. And with the WRC 1 car, the Rally 1 class, damn, it's quite fast, but also very controllable. And I'm happy to say the jumps did not damage the car. It felt like the suspension of the Rally 1 car actually soaked up the jumps really nice. You could really throw them full throttle across the crests, land it, and continue on your way. A little bit I felt like there was the gravel physics did feel a bit different, but more to that later. Next one I wanted to see is snow physics. Like that was something that Rally 2, in my opinion, did really well. You had a very good feeling on snow, and I wanted to see Norway because so far we haven't seen a lot of Norway leading up to the release. So here we are in Rally Norway with another R5 Skoda, and I'm happy to say this pretty much felt exactly the same as the snow in Dirt Rally 2, which is exactly what I wished for. So yeah, if you came too close to the edges with the snowbanks, it started to pull you in, and it felt quite slippery, although still quite grippy because you are driving on studs. And the Norway stage, I rarely have to drive the long version of it. I just took some small stages now for the first look, but it has some very nice narrow sections. You have beautiful scenery with the lake, and some very narrow with cliff on one side, guardrail on the other, and still on snow. So I think that is a great different snow event. And now it also becomes clear to me why they picked Norway as a a stage location where there never has been a WRC event in this region of Norway where the stages are from. Like all the stages in the new game are modeled after actual real life roads, not always WRC stages, but roads from WRC events, with Norway being the exception that it's in a region where there actually was no WRC event. But it feels different to the stages from Rally Sweden, so I think that makes a great variety. Next one I wanted to see was Kenya, because I was there this year. Like that's the WRC event I came to visit. I was at the rally Kenya and saw firsthand how the roads look, how different they are from normal gravel roads like you would see in all other WRC events. And I wanted to see, I was really curious if the new game could capture that. And I was surprised it actually did. Like you have this big crest in the middle of the road where you have to kind of balance around, because the roads are not made for high-speed driving. And you have a lot of undulation, a lot of rocks. It's really rough terrain. I didn't see yet that it really broke my car, but I could imagine that might happen in a longer event. Still, just first impressions. But now I want to get back to the gravel physics, because I drove in Kenya in the mud, like in the wet conditions, because when I was there was rain clouds every day, so some of the stages were quite muddy, and I wanted to see how this feels in the game. And I must say I'm surprised how much grip you still have when you drive in like muddy sand. And from the onboards from this year's rally, that should maybe feel more like driving on ice, which tied into the feeling I got in Finland, that you kind of have a bit, I don't know, too much grip on the gravel. I'm not sure if it is deliberate, like if it is to make the game more accessible for a wider audience than Dirt Rally was, or if it is like a trade-off that the underlying physics engine made tarmac better at the cost of making gravel slightly worse. I don't know what the reason is. I took a rear-wheel drive car to confirm this feeling, and yeah, it also felt like it's quite snappy on the oversteer. Like the front tires have too much grip that sticks them down to the ground when the rear tires break loose, so it's quite easy to spin your car out, which also feels a bit strange if you're driving on gravel and not on tarmac. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that right now. I have to say it is still fun, and I think the physics overall are better than Dirt Rally 2, just because the tarmac is a lot better than it was, and the gravel is not that much worse than it was. Like if you come from Dirt Rally 2 and you have driving skills from Dirt Rally 2, you will also be fine with this. You're seeing here my very first tries in driving this game, and I didn't crash a lot. Let's say it that way. But I also think the game might be a bit easier than Dirt Rally 2, so it might not be the Dark Souls of racing games anymore. But I have to say also that it is fun. Like I had a lot of fun for the first stages here. The WRC 1 cars, the Rally 1 cars are very nice and very controllable. I enjoy them a lot, and I'm with these slight caveats very happy with the release right now. I was anxious because I pre-ordered the game, so yeah, but it feels like overall what I expected. A little bit about the performance. I'm running this on a PlayStation 5, and it is smooth overall. Most like you had some pop-ins from the graphics, which I don't see as a huge issue, but also something that can be fixed. A little bit of an issue is stuttering, but that is not a general problem. From what I saw, it depends actually on the stage and on specific corners. Like if you have a lot of going around things going on in a specific corner, then it seems to start stuttering there, but only there and always there in that corner, which seems like to not be a general performance issue, but something that can be fixed on that specific stage. So the overall performance feeling was quite good. I had quite fast reaction from my wheel to the game. Yeah, a little bit more I have, but you can leave now if you only came for the game first impression. Now I will talk a bit about my setup. I have a Logitech G Pro force feedback direct drive, whatever it's called, the direct drive wheel from Logitech. It got picked up by the game quite immediately. It works really well. The force feedback is super strong, and I'm not sure what the best settings are right now. I think it could be a bit better when I dial in better settings, but I already get a feeling of what the wheels are doing and can control the car. What I'm missing is a bit like a handbrake, but Logitech still didn't start their ecosystem that they tried to launch with this wheel, so I don't know what's going on, but for now I can handbrake with my clutch pedal and drive sequential gearbox. So yeah, if you have a Logitech G Pro direct drive wheel, then be rest assured that the game supports it. It gets picked up immediately. And yeah, it runs very fine on PlayStation 5. The whole setup reason is to switch from PC to PS5, because it's for me a much better integrated system in my living conditions, where I have my sim racing rig and stuff. So I wanted to try if that can be transferred from the PC to PS5 to have a lot more integrated and seamless driving experience. Because what I really liked, I didn't need to set up the wheel at all. I didn't need to do anything. I just plugged it into the PlayStation, booted up the game, and boom, it was supported. Yeah. Other things for the channel itself. I am already working. I started writing script for a beginner's guide for this game, like I did with Dirt Rally 2.0 also, which will probably also be a bit shorter, because when I write a script I don't ramble around so much, and the voice part, the speaking part, will be quite a bit shorter. Sorry for that. This is just free talking out of my for first impressions. For the future of the channel, if you remember my country guides for Dirt Rally 2.0, this is what I plan to do for WRC now as well, which with a lot more locations might take quite a bit longer, but I will be focusing on difficult locations first, because I think that is most valuable to most players, especially when you get some setup advice. My current idea would be Finland and Kenya very early on, but please leave comments if you are struggling with other locations very much. I might go back on this idea too, because I first need to get more experience and try all the different locations. I was surprised, as I said, Finland is quite drivable. I didn't even end it in a terminal crash, but actually finished the stage on the first try. That was quite surprising compared to Dirt Rally 2. So yeah, that's what I plan to do on the channel. And thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about it, if you already tried it out. What do you think about the positives and negatives I have pointed out? So I will conclude this with that I must say, yeah, there are some issues, some quirks where I think it could be better. And I hope that those will be addressed in the future. But even as it is now, right, with this package, I am happy with my purchase. This is what I expected. This gives me the rally fun I wanted. I can use my sim racing skills to tackle those stages as I have hoped for. And it has a lot of content variety and great stages to tickle that rally enthusiast niche. So yeah, overall, quite a good first impression. See you next time. Cheers.